but I want to because there are some players that I know for you liked a whole bunch. Not good enough to put in your top five, but you think they're not being talked about enough by people out there, and who actually may go in the end of the first round because of what you've been seeing on tape and what you've been hearing from some of the teams out there. So, kind of in a speed round fashion, Chris. I know you've got your notes
Cool.
there, and so I'm really going to tax you here with these names I'm going to throw at you. But these are names we've gone over before that I know that you think deserve more love out there. So these are your Robin Hood 2020 NFL draft prospects because we love the animation. Good job, Kristen. And the music, too. Is that Robin Hood's music?
No, I don't think so. But you wouldn't know because you've never seen the movie. So I
I've
can't,
never
I
seen it.
don't, I'm not telling. But
And I will be
I tried.
watching Godfather here very soon, too, by the way. Just to
Okay,
give you an
okay,
update
yep.
on
I
that.
won't hold my breath on that. We'll see about that. But Robin Hood's one of those things I started a while back because, like, sometimes during the draft process, we talk about the same 10 names over and over. I turn on
Sure.
different TV stations and everything, and it's, oh, great. Oh, we're going to break down, Chase Young again today? Oh, great. I haven't seen enough Chase Young breakdowns. Let's do some more. So I want to give some of these guys love. And, Robin from Loxley, he took from the rich and gave to the poor. And that's what Chris from Franklin Lakes will do as well.
All right, so give me just a couple of the headlines of why you like these guys who have not been getting maybe as much love out there. We'll start with the wide receiver position, and we'll start with the Notre Dame guy, a guy you saw a lot on the field in South Bend, who did open some eyes at the combine with what he was able to do with his 40-inch vertical and his fast 40-yard dash time. Chase Claypool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Chase Claypool. And I really think he's a first round talent. Now, people are going to sit there and go, "Oh, well, it's only 1 year of production. It's a little raw. There's some things about his game, that he needs to improve." Okay, yeah, I get that. But 237, 4.4 flat, that type of explosiveness. He's tough as hell on the football field. All you got to do is watch special teams tape, and you'll watch him and go, "Man, he's the best tackler on Notre Dame in special teams." But straight speed to beat you deep. I know he's got the ability to become a good route runner. He is a good route runner. He really is. There's nothing he can't do on the football field. 50-50 contested balls. To me, this is a guy that's just being overanalyzed by the experts way too much. Way too much. It's going to be like the DK Metcalf story all over again. You watch with Chase Claypool. He's going to go out, everybody's going to go, whoa, how did everybody miss out on this guy? He's having a great rookie year. Because we started dissecting whether he could go down and do something like, we just went way down a worm tunnel on the player that's not necessary. To me, he's Brandon Marshall, Vincent Jackson, right? You remember him? He's that type of guy, but faster than both of them. And I really think he's got the potential to be a star. I mean, I would be shocked if he last on the board. I'm sure it sounds like he's going to go the second round. But like I said, I think he's a first-round talent. I think he's talented enough to be in that top 5 wide receiver conversation.
Chase Claypool out of high school is tough to get on some people's radar. Grew up in British Columbia. Notre Dame found him. Van Jefferson out of Florida. He was on people's radar because his dad, Sean Jefferson, played 13 years in the NFL, now an assistant coach with the Jets. Van Jefferson, wide receiver of Florida, should be getting more love.
Yes, we talk like right now. We talk about route runners in the draft, right? Justin Jefferson, we hear him. Jerry Jeudy, the ultimate route runner, right? In most people's eyes. Van Jefferson, I would say, is a better route runner than all of them. He is. This is the best route runner in all of college football last year. He's really got a chance in an offense that I don't think really knew how to utilize and feature a guy with that type of talent. But I just talked to C.J. Henderson, who's my number 1 corner in the draft, and I asked him, who was one of the toughest covers you had in college football? And he said, my teammate, Van Jefferson. I get it. He's been taught by his father, and he has got it. I mean, let alone he's got the physical ability to go with the techniques he has in his route running. But to me, this is a guy that, might not go to the 3rd round. Maybe he goes late 2nd round, something like that. But don't be shocked if he gets in the right offense that values route running where, first year, second year in the NFL, he's putting up 80, 90, 100 type receptions. I think he's one of those guys that could really sneak up on us. Like a Cooper Kupp out with the Rams, right? That's to me like this type of player this kid is.
Yeah, maybe more of a finished product than the rest of the guys out there who have some projections still. He's going to be 24 years old, his first year in the league, but that's valuable. Even if you're a number 3 or number 4 receiver on a team, that certainly gives value to some guys out there. Tight end position. Oh, I get it. You're just picking a bunch of Notre Dame guys. Cole Kmet. You like Cole Kmet?
Well, can somebody talk about Cole Kmet? Somebody?
Sure.
I mean,
I think he is. I think he is consensus number 1 tight end, but I think a lot of people think that the tight end position is not very, very good this year in the draft.
Well, yeah. I mean, true. Like you're right. It's not a deep tight end class, but Cole Kmet's going to get drafted in the first round. I have no bones about. I mean, I will be shocked if he doesn't get drafted in the first round. I really will be. I'll be shocked, Ahmed. So that's why it bothers me. I mean, yeah, okay, he's the number 1 tight end. We know that. And it's not a great year. And I feel like just because of that, we're not going to talk about it. But, I mean, to be as big as he is and 260 pounds and 6'5" and be able to run the way he runs, and he hasn't really played spring football because he did baseball, and he's a phenomenal blocker and a phenomenal pass catcher, and he can beat people one-on-one. Like, there is no doubt he is a first-round talent. And like I said, I will be shocked if he doesn't go somewhere between 20 and 32 in the first round. I really would be. I mean, he's as talented as, some of the tight ends we've seen come out the last years. I'm not going to say he's Noah Fant or TJ Hawkinson, right? As athletic as they were last year coming out in the draft. No, he's a little bit of a different mold. This is a guy that's a little bit bigger, right? I mean, he's more really along the Gronk mold of that type of guy. And I'm not saying he's Gronk, but he's that type of size, that type of run blocker. And then he's going to be a mismatch in the pass game, Ahmed. He's going to be one of those guys where if he gets in the right offense, they're going to be able to split him out and go, oh, there's a linebacker on him. They can't run with him. And then you're going to look out and go, oh, they put a DB on him. And you're going to go, well, he's too small. So we're still going to throw to him because we think he'll just box him out and do it. So I'm just annoyed that he hasn't got more talk. That's all I'm saying. He is a for sure first-round pick, in my opinion. I really will be shocked if that doesn't happen, and I just want to give him some love. What did Pete Dimolitis just text us there?
So he just gave you a way to make some money, because if you say he is a surefire first-round prospect, Pete just texted us saying that Kmet has odds of 7-1 on some gambling sites to go in the first round. So if you put $100 on Cole Kmet to go in the first round, you're walking away with $700.
Ooh, I like that.
If you don't do it, I might do it.
Well, I sit here and look at some of these teams and just go, hey, would the Patriots at 23, would they think about Cole Kmet? I don't know. I don't think that's totally crazy. He would fit their mold. Even the Saints at 24, no, they're good. They got Jared Cook, so they don't have to worry about it. I wouldn't, the Dolphins, the Seahawks at 27 can be in that conversation. So, I mean, there's a few teams here that I look at and go, hey, I could certainly see them picking Cole Kmet at some point in this first round.
All right, so maybe they want a tight end. Maybe they like Cole Kmet. Maybe they don't get Cole Kmet, and then you got to look for that talent elsewhere. And you think over at UCLA, the tight end, Devin Asiasi, has that talent. Redshirt junior coming out, declaring eligible, 6'3", 257 pounds, ran a 4.73 40.
And plays faster than that. This is another guy, I don't know, and maybe there's some off-the-field things that I don't know about or whatever. I just don't hear buzz about it. But I know the film, pops, Ahmed. I mean, it really does. This is a guy that he's not as good a blocker as Cole Kmet, but it's not that far off. And he's probably more explosive, or he is more explosive with the ball in his hand than Cole Kmet. I mean, this is like a special football player. He really is, and I just don't understand that. Again, like I said with Cole Kmet, I have no qualms. This guy is a first-round talent. There's no doubt about it. Can do everything.
He didn't show it. Yeah, he didn't show it until he had just 8 career catches heading into 2019. He started his career at Michigan, transferred away from Jim Harbaugh to be closer to home in California. So that initially, that's why I thought you liked him, because he transferred away from Jim
It's
at
always a
Michigan
smart
there.
move to get away from Jim.
But I think you got to project, right? He's done it for 1 year at UCLA, but the tape is the tape, and you like what you see.
I do like what I see. And then, ultimately, I think some of those things that you said, will probably not make him a first round pick. But again, super talented. And just don't be shocked if we're, sitting here a year or two from now going, and how do you say his last name?
Asiasi.
Asiasi? Asiasi. Don't be
Yeah.
shocked if we're sitting here 2 or 3 years from now with Asiasi being in the conversation for the best tight end in football. I think he's got that type of talent.
We'll go Asiasi. Oh, Chris, I see what you were saying earlier there. Thank you
See
very
what
much.
I mean? I got confused there. Yeah, yes, I did.
3 edge guys that you like. Let's go through these guys. You like Bradlee Anae, spelled Anae, from Utah. Yep. He was buried on the Utah depth chart as a freshman and then led the team in tackles for a loss in his senior season. So he came on strong, good career at Utah.
Yeah, I mean, good football player, outside linebacker / defensive end kind of guy, right? But has undeniable pass rush skills. Again, he's not going to go in the first round, so I'm not trying to sit here and say that. He's just not that type of a physical specimen. There's also some, wanting more a little bit in the run game and the physicality department, okay, maybe for me and my money. But the pass rushing ability is undeniable. I mean, one, he's just a very fluid, loose athlete, can really bend and dip and rip around the corner. He's got good, nice hand usage, so he can win with hands and swatting and swim moves and all that. Then also, I'm big into, okay, you won with speed. I see a little bit of like power and some good technique with the hands. Now, can you go speed to power? And yes, he can. I mean, he can try to beat you with speed, and if he realizes he doesn't get the edge, he puts that inside arm up and gets it underneath tackles, chin into their chest and stuff, and makes a lot of plays. So, he would be one of those guys where, like he could be a Matt Judon or a Smith, who is Zadarius Smith, who went up to Baltimore, comes in, edge guy, and contributes to a team, and all of a sudden we look up and go, damn, this guy's got 8, 10, 11 sacks every year of his career. It would not shock me. He's that type of talent.
Improving throughout his career at Utah. You can almost say the same thing about Jabari Zuniga at Florida, another edge guy. He played basketball growing up, played just 1 year of high school football before going to Florida. His body already looks like an NFL player, according to a lot of scouts and evaluators out there. Was able to do it all across the defensive line for Florida in the SEC, so a lot to like from Zuniga, and you like him too.
I do too. I mean, he was played out of position. That's the biggest issue. He played defensive tackle at 260 pounds because they were trying to get their best 11 guys on the field. So again, it's a little bit of a projection, and he was put in a spot that really wasn't built for him. But it says something to be 260 pounds and play defensive tackle in the SEC. That tells you must be pretty damn strong for 262 pounds. Plus, when he got on the edge, yes, I just saw special get off, special explosion around the edge, and let alone the play strength that we talk about to where this guy, he's not going to go in the first round. I'm not trying to say that. I think he goes somewhere maybe in the mid-second, late second, maybe early third, somewhere in that range. But, don't be shocked if he's starting for your team next year and, has a significant role on the edge of a defense as a defensive end or, I think that ultimately he's a true defensive end. And he could be a rush end, like on the weak side of a offensive line, right, away from the tight end. But because he played defensive tackle, he's got the power to play the strong side too, which we call a crash end. He'll have no problem being able to take a tight end and a tackle on a double team and do things like that. He did that in college, so he'll be right at home. But yeah, he was one of my favorite players in the draft.
A value guy to watch that you could pick up maybe on day 2 or who knows, even day 3. A similar guy for you, Chris, is Darryl Taylor, another edge guy from Tennessee. redshirt senior, a great athlete. He's got short area quickness here, power edge defender. He was Tennessee's biggest threat to get into the backfield from the linebacker position, so it seems to have some quickness. You like Taylor from Tennessee.
I do. I mean, the words you just used are the right ones. Power edge defender. That's what he is. He's built like a brick shit house, okay? His body is like perfection. It really is. And it's not going to wow you with like, oh, speed and sexiness and explosion around the corner. Again, to me, this is a guy that's got like Baltimore Ravens written all over him. It's like, they took this guy, Jalen Ferguson, last year out of Louisiana Tech, who was like a 270-pound defense end, and they made him an outside linebacker this year. And I think that's like this kind of guy. Again, he can play defensive end, 3-4 outside linebacker, tremendous play strength. Yes, it's not like the speed, sexy type guy, but he was one of my favorite watches in the draft. And his ability to throw people off him and do all that. Plus, he is a natural pass rusher as far as, bend, ability to use his hands. He's very natural at it. He's not a guy, like I said, that's going to fly around the edge like Von Miller, but still, a guy that's going to be starting on someone's defense next year on the edge in some capacity.
Over at linebacker, you gave some love to Malik Harrison when we were talking about your honorable mentions out of Ohio State here. His positives, big athlete, great combo of size and physicality. You want to give him a little bit more love in your Robin Hood section.
Yeah, because like the thumper linebackers don't get any love anymore. Like the true old school, oh, you want to run downhill on me? I'll meet you in the hole and we'll see how it goes right there. Like that's Malik Harrison. Right around 250 pounds, big, rangy body. A lot like a KJ Wright up at Seattle, who's had an unbelievable career. That's the type of player this kid can be. He'll never come off the field all 3 downs. Is he going to be perfect in pass coverage? No, you can't have it all. But he's going to be unbelievable sideline to sideline and between the tackles for the traditional linebacking stuff. So those type of teams, again, I'll say a Baltimore, maybe a New England, they're going to love this guy because they can play a 3-4, and if a guard flies up on them, they're not going to be like physically overwhelmed. They're big enough to stand in there, hit them, move them around, get off the block, whatever it may be. More of a power-based middle linebacker, but there's still a place for that in the NFL. And that's why I like Malik Harrison. And of course, he got to play a lot of that in the Big Ten with Jonathan Taylor and some of those teams he played.
One more offensive player, one more defensive player here in your Robin Hoods, the 2020 draft. We'll do the running back. Anthony McFarland out of Maryland. You talked about him in our honorable mentions when we did running backs. He's 5'8", 208 pounds, played at Maryland, ran the 40 in 4.44 seconds. He is that small kind of change of pace back, but maybe you think he can be even more than that.
Well, I think he could be like a Tariq Cohen, right? That kind of guy that we've seen in the NFL. Darren Sproles, but probably with better long speed. To me, yes, again, you don't get to see him get the ball a lot every game, but there is special attributes. And when you can make people miss and run 80 yards away from a lot of NFL people in the Big Ten, it opens up my eyes to go, okay, there was a lot of NFL people chasing you, and you ran away from them. So he would be one of those guys. He's going to be a mid-round pick, but just another jitterbug with a rocket up his butt who could be a big play type of football guy for an offense. And yeah, I like his game. I'd say watch out for him. He's going to have a role as a third down back right away and going to make plays for somebody as a rookie.
So he's 5'8", and the guy over on defense who you like is 5'8" as well. Cornerback for Auburn, Javaris Davis, cousin of Vernon Davis and Vontae Davis. You liked his tape?
Well, I do. Again, I'm a little bit of a sucker for speed. I can't deny that. This is not a real big guy, Javaris Davis, but man, he can fly. I mean, fly. Straight ahead, as long as it's straight ahead, he's going to be able to run with anybody in football. Is there a little tightness in his hips? A little bit of some extra steps when he's coming out of the break and trying to break on a ball, Ahmed? Yes. That's why, he's not in the first round conversation and probably won't be in the second round. Probably ultimately going to be like a third round type pick, that guy. But, I think he's the type of guy where, I compared him to Avonte Maddox of the Philadelphia Eagles, who was just like him coming out. I think Avonte Maddox ran like a 4.27 maybe coming out in the draft, something like that. Maybe it was 4.29 or 4.30. But I think that's what this kid can be. You match him up with Deshaun Jackson or Hollywood Brown, he's going to be able to run down the field with them and not be like, oh my gosh, I got to run so hard because I can't keep up with this guy. No, this is an elite level acceleration and explosion, let alone he'll throw his body around and tackle too. So those are the things I like about him. And I just think he's one of those mid-round draft picks that's going to pop up sometime next year for some football team where we're going to go, damn, who is this what the hell's his name?
Davis.
Javaris Davis.
Who's this guy, Jatavis? I go, yeah, he's been so under the radar. Even the guys who like him don't know his name.
Damn, my fault there, Javaris. I got Jatavis Brown in my head there for a second. But yeah, there's a lot to like about his film, and damn, that Auburn team and secondary, they're just impressive altogether.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.